Good morning. How is everyone today? I hope you all had a wonderful Easter. This morning, I have a question I want to ask you. Are you as resilient as a groundhog? Any of you who have lived around groundhogs, had to go to battle with them, you know what I'm talking about. They are very sophisticated animals, and they are very hard to deter once they make up their minds. And I have 6 ways that I think we could all benefit from being more like groundhogs. Number 1, don't let other people discourage you from doing the things that you want to do in your life. How many times in your life have you been interested in something or had a passion for something that you wanted to pursue, only to be told by the people around you that it wasn't worth the time, it wasn't worth the money, wasn't worth the resources, or, this is my favorite, you're too old to do that. That doesn't work with a groundhog. Once a groundhog has done its research and it knows where it wants to be, that's where it's going to be. And there is very little you can do to deter that groundhog from putting its burrow exactly where it wants to be. You can fill in tunnels, you can do anything you want. You can sprinkle those little deterrent pellets and granules around as much as you want. They just huff them in and keep on a-going. So that's number 1. Don't let others discourage you from your passions or from the things that you really want to do in life. Number 2, don't ever be afraid to go home. We're told all the time that we can never go home. And while that's true in some respects, and I don't think any of us should try to live in the past, going home, going to the area where you were raised, it gives you a connection to your past, and it gives you a connection to your childhood and the experiences you've had over your life. It is a good reminder of why we are who we are today, because our past is what built our personality, it's what's built our resilience. It is, in essence, the reason we are who we are today. In the case of groundhogs, every generation comes back to where they were born, which is why if you don't address your groundhog problem right away, you will have multiple generations, multiple years of new groundhogs coming back and back and back. And I'll tell you, over the weekend, I closed in a minimum of 9 tunnels in a very small area. And they didn't all go to the same burrow. So you can get multiples and multiples. Groundhogs are not afraid to go home. They relate it to a sense of safety and security. We shouldn't be afraid to go home either. Even if your past was not always the happiest, it still connects you to who you are at your basic essence. Number 3, if you find yourself buried under life circumstances, financial obligations, or even just mounds of responsibility, just dig yourself out. If a groundhog's burrow has all the tunnels filled in, packed down, you can go out within 3 to 4 hours of those tunnels being filled in and find at least half of those tunnels opened back up. They just keep digging and digging and digging. They are known to be an animal that can move tremendous amounts of dirt in a very short period of time. And we can do the same thing. If you are feeling burdened and buried, just keep digging. Don't give up. Keep going. Set your goal. Know where you're going. And if you just keep working towards that goal and making the sacrifices to get there, you will dig yourself out. Just be a little more like a groundhog. Number 4, have a plan B. When a groundhog digs his burrow, he has multiple escape routes. He has several different tunnels going in and out of that burrow. When you are putting yourself in a situation, always have a plan B. If you're getting married, you may think it is the greatest day of your life and it will last forever. But today, over 50% of marriages end in divorce. Have a plan B. If things don't work out between you and your spouse, if something dreadful happens, if you lose a spouse to death or severe illness, make sure you know what you can do if something like that happens in your life. How are you going to survive and where are you going to go? If you're dependent on a spouse to support you, if something happens to that spouse and they can't support you any longer, know where you can get a job, what you can do to support your family. A lot of people will tell you having a plan B for a marriage, a job, moving, that's just a way to give you an excuse not to try. I don't agree with that. And me having a plan B, always knowing what I would do and how I would survive, is what allowed me in my situation to be able to buy a house before I was divorced and be able to live on $400 to $500 a month on a part-time job, because that's what I had to do. And at that point, I had no money from a divorce settlement. So always have a plan B. Know what you can do and where you're going to go. Number 5, let people think whatever they want to think. You know, in the case of the groundhog, there are plenty of places where it's been documented that groundhogs will not live in close proximity to foxes. Well, I know for a fact that that is not true. I knew I had groundhogs in my old barn, and there were several burrows. It was a large barn, several burrows, several tunnels. And then suddenly I noticed I also had a den of foxes. Now they had moved in to an old groundhog burrow that was no longer active. Well, the foxes they had their den in this old groundhog burrow here, and about 6 to 8 feet away, there was an active groundhog burrow. And if this were true, if what everybody else thought was true, those groundhogs would not have been in my barn. I walked out one evening behind the back of my barn to see baby foxes and baby groundhogs chasing each other around like they were playing tag with each other. And the adults were watching. So people don't always know what they're talking about. I watched those young animals play with each other all summer long. Just let people think whatever they want to think. People base their opinion on their own life experience. And if they have not walked in your shoes, they have no idea what's going on in your life. So do what you need to do and let everybody else think whatever they want. And number 6, don't ever let your nemesis win. When you are trying to run groundhogs off your property, you can drop pellets, granules, you can fill in tunnels. You can do whatever you can to try to discourage them, to get them to leave, make their life miserable. You can throw anything at them, and it is going to be incredibly difficult to discourage them, to make them want to leave their little community that they've set up. And we need to kind of be the same way. When you have someone out there that is spreading lies about you, that is trying to make your life difficult, that is trying to keep you from being able to be successful, don't let them win. Don't let them bother you. And I know that is very hard to do. I know from experience that when someone is trying to make things difficult for you, when somebody is sitting around hoping and praying that you fail, I know how difficult that can be. But you just need to keep going, because the best revenge against our enemies is to live the best possible life that you can live. Don't be discouraged. Keep digging yourself out. Let people think what they want to think, and you just keep doing. You pinpoint where you want to be in life. You set your goals and you get there. But I think all of us could learn a thing or two from a groundhog. Bye-bye. You have a great day, and I'll talk to you again soon.